Hi, I'm Martin Shapiro. I'm in the psychology department.
And I'm Jennifer Isom, also in the psychology department.
We both teach courses in biological psychology. This is Psych 36. It's an introductory course to neuroscience, anatomy, physiology of behavior. This can be kind of a difficult class for students, especially if they don't have a lot of background in science and chemistry and physiology. We get students in psychology as well as sometimes criminology. And while the students find this material interesting, we think it gets sometimes a little dry. And there's some great resources out there online for helping the students to make it more relevant to their own lives and to their career. And one of the ideas that we had was to, instead of lecturing 2 days in a row, we'd give them off the first day of class in a week, and they would meet the second. In the first, they would watch a PowerPoint presentation, a little bit shorter than we typically do, a narrated PowerPoint, and they would also go online and look at some content. So one of the first things we want to do is maybe change the idea of a textbook.
So instead of using one of those really expensive textbooks that's available now, we'll incorporate the supplementary videos, articles, and activities that we normally use in our classrooms, and those activities will be the content in addition to our lectures. So that will reduce the cost to the students, and hopefully it will also make the content much more interesting and much more relevant to the students. One of the great areas of content that we can use is TED Talks. TED Talks provide talks from actual neuroscientists, and one in particular is a neuroscientist that experienced a stroke, and since she was aware most of the time during the stroke, she's able to describe what that was like, which is much more interesting than reading about what a stroke is like from a textbook.
Yeah, another one that we really like is Radiolab. This is an NPR program. It's about 45 minutes, and it's about all types of science. The interviewers are kind of funny sometimes, but they bring in the top people in their field. And there are some really great programs on neuroscience, on genetics, that I think the students will find very relevant. We also want them to do some reading, and one of my favorite magazines is Scientific American. There's also Scientific American Mind, but also National Geographic and Discovery. We can link them to these articles directly in the library. So again, getting away from the idea of a textbook. Now, how are we going to present that content to them? Instead of Blackboard, we were going to put together an e-portfolio, kind of an e-textbook, if you will, that has links to the articles, that has streaming videos from TED and streaming podcasts from Radiolab. Also, it enables us to maybe write a paragraph or two about the content they're going to be seeing and things to look for, terms and topics, and maybe essay questions. But we're also using e-portfolios in another way as well.
So in addition to having the content in modules that correspond to the weeks of the class, we're also going to have a place on the e-portfolio where students can submit writing, and in particular we're going to give them an assignment of taking a particular behavior. It could be problematic or not. It's something like superior intelligence or anxiety, and then have them discuss specific aspects of that behavior, the etiology. So maybe we can talk about that behavior from the neurotransmitter level, or the behavioral level, or the genetic level. So they'll be able to integrate all of the different sources of neuroscience research and information about that particular behavior. And by the end of the semester, they'll have a nice e-portfolio on that particular behavior.
They'll be able to share that material with other students in the class, so students can educate other students. And not only that, but students will become expert in at least one area of neuroscience. We think that'll be pretty interesting, and we're hoping they're going to like this new format.